On the news at 8, President Bola Tinubu calls for an end to Israeli aggression in Gaza as Arab Islamic Summit begins in Riyadh. World leaders converge on Azerbaijan for United Nations Conference on Climate Change. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu swears in Olufunke Hassan as new chairman, Onigbongbo Local Council Development Area. U.S. President-elect Donald Trump appoints Tom Homan as border czar ahead of his proposed mass deportation of illegal migrants. Join us for details in a moment. Good evening. Welcome to the news at 8 on Lagos Television. I am Yetunde Oladotun Amao. President Bola Tinubu has called for an end to Israeli aggression in Gaza, warning that the conflict in Palestine has persisted for far too long, inflicting immeasurable sufferings on the people. President Tinubu stated this while addressing the extraordinary Arab Islamic Summit in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, convened to address the current situation in the Middle East and the deep concern on humanitarian conditions in Gaza. President Tinubu, who reiterated Nigeria's call for an immediate ceasefire in Gaza, affirmed the country's support for a two-state solution where Israeli and Palestinians can coexist in security and dignity. The Nigerian leader called on parties in the conflicts in the Middle East to respect the principle of proportionality and the basic rights of civilians consistent with global, legal and diplomatic frameworks. Saudi Arabia's Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman condemned Israeli actions in Gaza and Lebanon, including targeting of civilians and the continued violation of the Al-Aqsa Mosque. He also condemned Israeli ban on the United Nations Relief and Works Agency for Palestine refugees from delivering relief aids to Palestinians and the displacement of Lebanese people. The summit is a follow-up to the Riyadh summit last year and was attended by heads of state and government of the Organization of Islamic Cooperation and the League of Arab States. World leaders as well as delegates from 200 countries are in Azerbaijan for the United Nations Conference of Parties. At the opening session, United Nations Climate Chief Simon Still says a new global climate finance goal must be achieved in order to reform the global financial system. Our environment correspondent, Bukola Taylor-Cole, who is in Azerbaijan, gives us details in this report.
The United Nations Climate Change Conference, COP29, has commenced in Baku, Azerbaijan. Now, COP29 presents an unprecedented opportunity to unite diverse voices, foster collaboration, and drive meaningful, lasting change for a healthier and more sustainable world. COP29 brings together leaders from all over the world, business executives and non-state actors to advance concrete solutions to the defining issue of our time, climate change.
We are what we do.
A key focus of COP29 is finance, as trillions of dollars are required for countries to drastically reduce greenhouse gas emissions and protect lives and livelihood from the worsening impacts of climate change. At this opening ceremony, the Executive Secretary of UN Climate Change, Simon Still, says an ambitious new climate finance goal is entirely in the self-interest of every nation.
We must work harder to reform the global financial system, giving countries the fiscal space they so desperately need. And here in Baku, we must get international carbon markets up and running by finalizing Article 6. We need to move on mitigation so targets from Dubai are realized. We mustn't let 1.5 slip out of reach. And even as temperatures rise, the implementation of our agreements must claw them back. Clean energy and infrastructure investment will reach $2 trillion in 2024, almost twice that of fossil fuels.
As we mobilize climate finance, we allow for higher ambitions. And as we signal together higher ambition, we build trust to unlock greater financial commitments. Dear colleagues, to enable action, the COP29 presidency's top priority is to agree a fair and ambitious new collective quantified goal on climate finance. This must be effective and adequate to the scale and urgency of the problem. It must address the needs and priorities of developing countries.
Delegates from Lagos and Nigeria are here in Baku to advance their climate change agenda, and they have high expectations.
Participation and presence of Lagos at COP29 shows our commitment to Lagos into the global climate change action and carbon reduction plan. And we hope that we'll be able to push discussions around climate finance for our climate adaptation and resilience plan. We also hope that we will get partnership and support for the Lagos Carbon Registry and glean knowledge and experience from people who've played in this market.
Countries from all over the world are expected to signal their intent to set more emissions reduction targets, strengthening their actions on adaptation and demonstrate progress on previous pledges.
Let positivity prevail and let it power the process. Let actions speak louder than words. Let results outlast the rhetoric. And remember, we are what we do, not what we say.
The conference will also be a key moment for countries to present their updated national climate action plans under the Paris Agreement, which are due by early 2025. From Baku, Azerbaijan, I am Bukola Taylor-Cole, reporting for Lagos Television.
Thank you, Buki. A stakeholders' engagement on the role of youths in climate change advocacy has been held in Lagos. The youths were advised to develop, advocate and implement innovative and community-driven solutions that prioritizes environmental stewardship, social justice and intergenerational equity. Jamil Shonubi compiles this next report.
Officials, educators, students and climate experts to discuss the critical role young people are playing in combating climate change.
We know for a fact that there are changes in our weathers and our seasons. It's affecting our land. It's affecting grazing for herds. It's affecting food, to be cropped, to be cultivated. It's affecting our transportation in terms of mobility. It's affecting our health. We know that there's that impact. But how can we translate it into our everyday living? It's in how we manage our waste. What is causing the flood, apart from, the climate change? The blockages of our drainages, what is causing the holdups and the traffic, that we go through? It's the flooding. Why we have so much flooding? So what we're saying is that let us start from the very, very basics. How do we manage our waste?
Youths are very, very important. We are integral parts of society, and we are the only ones who can take action. Active action. We understood that there was a very huge problem in our society, in the schools, to the fact that they did not understand what climate change was all about. And so we deemed it fit to make sure that they are empowered and educated with the requisite knowledge and skills to thrive for a sustainable future.
As part of the discussion, there was a strong call for climate policies that are inclusive and that empower youth at the local and global levels.
I know that the government has done a lot of work through various ministries to establish climate education, capacity to be increased, to be improved, competencies to be driven amongst our children, because, like I said again, they're the ones that are able to influence each other. They're able to influence their parents at home. they're able to influence their community. We must ensure that we're utilizing the best tools, the best units, the best market, and the best market is the children. They are able to learn quickly. Their cognitive abilities are still very strong.
Teachers who will be involved in programs like Eco-Learn, teachers who are already proponents of these things in their schools, they may not be the popular ones, but they're doing the work, right? So by the time the government and the Ministry of Education is working on that curriculum, we can pick out some of those teachers and say, okay, come to the table and let's create this curriculum together.
We cannot just leave the works just for the government. Everybody takes an active role or takes an active part in making sure that the society is better for everyone to live in. We're experiencing climate change, we're experiencing flooding. We as individuals need to make sure that whatever actions that we're taking is to our benefits and to the benefit of the society. So we're not just going to leave this to organizations or to the government, but we as ourselves have to take active actions to make sure that we can also help in solving the problem generally.
As youth take the lead in combating climate change, they are showing that innovative, community-driven solutions can be the key to a sustainable future.
Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has sworn in Rekia Olufunke Hassan as chairman Onigbongbo Local Council Development Area. This follows the death of our predecessor, Oladotun Olakanle. Governor Sanwo-Olu advised the new chairman to build on the existing legacy and bring more development to the people at the grassroots. Maugbe Josu reports.
That in the service of Lagos State, as chairman, Onigbongbo Local Council Development Area, I will be faithful.
This is in line with the provision of the Lagos State 2015 Local Government Administration Laws, Section 26, Subsection 1, and in accordance with Sections 24 and 35 of the law, which states that upon the death of a chairman, the vice chairman would be sworn in as chairman. Commissioner for Local Government, Chieftaincy Affairs and Rural Development, Kayode Robert, then presented the new chairman to Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu.
I'm delighted to formally present Barrister Olufunke Rekia Hassan to Mr. Governor, Mr. Babajide Olusola Sanwo-Olu for the swearing in. I pray that God Almighty in his 2020 will help you to perform and deliver the dividends of democracy to your people in Onigbongbo LCDA.
Promise that I will not misuse this opportunity given to me. I promise to do Mr. Governor and the rest of the state proud. I promise to do APC proud. I promise to do everybody that has seen me to this stage proud. I dedicate my service to the state. I'm not doing as a local government chairman for myself, but to the state. And I promise that you see my contribution.
After Hassan took an oath of allegiance and oath of office, Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu noted that governance and leadership is continuous, that the death of former chairman Oladotun Olakanle has left vacuum in the council, which needed to be filled.
Government is a continuum. Our commitment is to the people of Onigbongbo that we will not stop. It's unwavering, and no matter the challenges we face, we'll continue to move forward together. I want to reassure you that with the installation of your new chairman, this administration will build on the foundations laid by our predecessors.
The governor also sought support for the newly sworn-in leader.
I'm confident that with your support, with the support of other staff in the LCDA, with the support of the political leaders in the LCDA, with the support of the party structure in the LCDA, with the support of the local government staff and leadership, that indeed the new chairman will guide the LCDA to even greater success.
The gathering observed a minute silence in honor of the late chairman Oladotun Olakanle, who died on Saturday, November 2, 2024.
May his gentle soul continue to rest in peace.
Maugbe Josu, LTV News.
Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu also expressed confidence in the Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Kudirat Kekereekun, to ensure that judiciary remains the gatekeeper of justice, protector of citizens' rights and defender of the Constitution. Governor Sanwo-Olu affirmed this at a dinner in honor of Nigeria's second female Chief Judge. Maugbe Josu reports.
It was a homecoming for the 23rd substantive and second female Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Kudirat Kekereekun, as Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu organized a special dinner in her honor. At the gathering are past and present Attorneys General of the Federation, past Chief Justice of Nigeria, former Lagos State Governor and Minister of Works and Housing, Babatunde Fashola, the Deputy Governor, Dr. Kadiri Amzat, wife of the Lagos State Governor, Dr. Ibijoke Sanwo-Olu, cabinet members, traditional rulers, legal luminaries within and outside the state.
What she really exudes is values, integrity, and character. I hope that many more men and women of value and character will rally around her and support the hope.
You are good, we all testify. But that bond, you must ensure that it continues to wax stronger. The Honorable Justices of Supreme Court, you have a duty, a very strong duty, to ensure that the Amazon succeeds.
It is important that we recognize that challenges lie ahead for the judiciary. The legal profession and the courts are not immune to the evolving issues of governance, technology, and global best practices. The administration of justice in the 21st century must embrace modernity.
I'm sure we will have it the way we've never had it in our time. It's going to be several years because we're going to amend the law to add more years to the 70 years.
The host, Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, asked Justice Kekereekun to ensure equity and fairness.
Honorable Justice Kekereekun, we in Nigeria take immense pride in your accomplishments, not only as an exemplary legal practitioner, but as a trailblazer for women in the legal profession. Your ascent to the highest judicial office sends a powerful message that excellence knows no gender.
Indeed, I appreciate that I have a very heavy responsibility on my shoulders. I am committed to upholding the high standards of our judiciary, promoting judicial independence, and fostering an environment where the rule of law prevails.
We know that your tenure as Chief Justice will be marked by a sharp intellect, deep of insight, and unwavering commitment to the spirit of the law for which you built a long life reputation. At a time when Nigeria faces many challenges, your leadership of the judiciary is a steadying force and a comforting presence, one that will bring renewed strength to the pursuit of justice, equity, and fairness.
Governor Sanwo-Olu also recognized and celebrated two Lagosians, Lawal Akapo and Abib Abiru, on their recent elevation as justices of the Court of Appeal. Maugbe Josu, LTV News.
Lagos lawmakers also took turns to eulogize the Speaker, Right Honorable Mudashiru Obasa, on his 52nd birthday. The lawmakers said the Speaker has made a name that cannot be erased from the history of Lagos as well as the legislature in Nigeria. Olatunde Yusuf reports.
The lawmakers at a plenary, presided over by the Deputy Speaker, Honorable Mojisola Miranda, took turns to speak on the achievements of Right Honorable Mudashiru Obasa and his exemplary and effective leadership. Announcing his birthday, the majority leader of the House, Honorable Naim Adams, noted that since the 8th Assembly, when Obasa first became the Speaker, Lagos State has continued to make giant breakthroughs. According to him, some of his achievements include the establishment of the Neighborhood Safety Corps, a state security outfit whose bill was sponsored by the Speaker, among many others.
He was one that initiated constituency meetings in various constituencies in Lagos State, where honorable members have the opportunity to engage with their constituencies in different constituencies. In Lagos State, he has passed several bills in Lagos State and has served as so many committees as the chairman of committees in this House of Assembly. So that people of the country right those figures.
Other lawmakers noted the role the Speaker plays in the continuous progress of Lagos State, describing him as a unique leader who has continued to set the pace among other legislative houses in the country.
A great man, a leader, a man that places his follower at par, a principled and very supportive leader, a man that I always address as a destiny helper. On behalf of the people of South constituency, what and my entire family, I want to wish you a happy birthday, many happy returns, long life and prosperity, in good health, more wealth, and long life.
Summing up the discussion, the Deputy Speaker congratulated Right Honorable Mudashiru Obasa and prayed that he continues to lead the Assembly right.
The Right Honorable Speaker, Dr. Mudashiru Obasa, a wonderful happy birthday. I wish him long life, in good health, many more years in good health, sir.
As the Speaker celebrates his 52nd birthday, some of his achievements include the establishment of the Cancer Institute Law, the Anti-Kidnapping Law of Lagos State, a law to promote the use of Yoruba language, among many others. Olatudo Yusuf, LTV News.
Still ahead. Lagos State government dislodges illegal occupants under Eko Bridge. That's the moment. Please stay with us.
Do you know that as a viewer, you have the right to complain about any broadcast content or conduct of Lagos Television you are not pleased about? For any of such complaints, call or SMS Director Programs on 00333-44915, Director News 003-696-2772, or Head Marketing 0022829898, or any of our social media handles. Lagos Television, the voice of Lagos.
Thank you for staying with us. The Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority is set to adopt blockchain technology to enhance efficiency, transparency, and convenience in aviation travel. This was disclosed at the stakeholders' engagement on the new technology held in Lagos. Joshua Morakio reports.
We seek a holistic approach to resolving the issues of consumer protection, data gathering, passenger identification, and security issues. This project is being expanded to cover more than just additional insurance.
It is projected that Nigeria's aviation sector is poised for remarkable growth with anticipated increase in air passenger volumes. This growth is, however, fraught with anticipated challenges of seamless, secure, and enjoyable travel experience. NCAA believes the introduction of decentralized, immutable, and transparent record-keeping system has the potential to revolutionize the industry.
Blockchain portal that offers almost immediate comfort to stranded or dissatisfied passengers while still at the terminals, but also factors in the interest of the airlines. It is a marriage, a four-way marriage between technology, insurance, the operator, and the regulator. The authority has looked at the blockchain portal and the pedigree of the brain behind it. We have peeled back layer upon layer from the many possible solutions on offer.
Stakeholders and experts speak on the import of the technology.
So, at what point do you attend to my concern? Is it after 2 hours or less than 2 hours?
But the framework is the same that operates everywhere in the world. So we want to make sure that this particular model is tweaked to such refined levels as to ensure that whatever issues that your airline particularly has is taken cognizance of and built into the system, and the logic works for you. That's what we're trying to do.
The system, typically, just like every other system, technology wouldn't see you as you, sees your digital footprint. So it's the digital footprint you have imputed in the course of that transaction that the platform recognizes and feeds you back through the same digital footprint or through the same channel.
We are looking for ways to make it better. Because under Festus Keyamo leadership as Minister for Aviation and Captain Chris Najomo at the NCAA, the goal is to keep improving until the Nigerian aviation space becomes world-class, so that our passengers get the best travel experiences that they have, in Europe, the Americas, and Asia, and the rest of the world.
The latest initiative introduces additional layers of passenger protection through a collaboration with insurance firms to develop a system tailored to Nigeria's unique environment. Joshua Murakinyo, LTV News, Lagos.
The Lagos State Environmental Sanitation Corps says it has dislodged occupants of an 84-room constructed under Eco Bridge at Elegbata on the Lagos Island. Its Corps Marshal, retired Major Olani Cole, said one person who allegedly built an 8-room toilet linked the pipes into the lagoon was also arrested during the operation. He said that the operation was carried out after a member of the public was attacked at the spot. He asked that the fellow petitioned the State Commissioner for the Environment, who gave an order for the demolition of the illegal structure. The Corps Marshal said that some of the evicted individuals have been living there for over 30 years. He asked that the operation will continue in all parts of the state to dislodge illegal occupants of black spots. Ilogbo Junior High School and Queen's College, Yaba, have emerged winners of the junior and senior categories of the Lagos Central Senatorial District Inter-Secondary Schools debate on drug abuse. Correspondent Omomi Okewo tells us more.
This is the third edition of the Inter-Schools Debate organized by the Nigerian Youth Parliament Lagos Central, led by Abdulmumin Edidi. The Inter-Schools Debate for schools in the Lagos Central Senatorial District brought together 32 schools to discuss drug abuse prevention and treatment. After a competitive plenary stage that led to 8 schools proceeding to the final rounds, Ilogbo Junior High School and Queen's College Yaba emerged winners.
The first position goes to Queen's College Yaba with 71.67%. The 4 schools, please step forward.
The children need to hear these things and know the dangers of drug abuse, so they need to know ways to prevent it. And also they'll take it back to their various schools and to where they're coming from and their homes and communities, and then talk to them about it. So that can help the society.
Drug will destroy them, drug will destroy their future. So many of them have a future to be great leaders of tomorrow, but if they allow drugs to destroy them, their future will be dead.
The event aligns with the Nigerian Youth Parliament's commitment to tackling drug abuse among youths.
I also thank the Nigerian Youth Parliament for organizing such a good thing to enlighten our youth about the dangerous consequences of drug abuse.
Came on stage to express themselves about drug abuse, to talk about the level of awareness they have about drug abuse, as well as caution their peers, which is the critical thing there. So when the drug-free clubs come into play, these students will be guides for their peers, they will be mentors for their peers, they will be friends to their peers who are embattled with drug abuse.
With the theme, Pioneering a Substance-Free Generation, Youth Empowerment and Advocacy, the program has reached over 90 schools since its inception. Omoumi Okewu, LTV News.
Incan Port Command of the Nigerian Customs Service has announced the impoundment of illicit drugs worth 37 billion naira. Controller of the command, Dera Nade, made the announcement at a quarterly briefing. Our correspondent, Omomi Okewo, reports.
Speaking with journalists at a press briefing in Lagos, Controller of the Command, Controller Dera Nade, says the revenue figure is unprecedented as it was the highest in the command's history. Nadi attributed the feat to recent innovations introduced by the service, including the Authorized Economic Operator Program, advanced ruling, as well as the time-release study. These innovations, it says, significantly enhanced trade facilitation and improved revenue collection.
Command wishes to celebrate this milestone of collecting over 1 trillion as custom duty, being the first time this has been achieved in the history of Tinkan Island Port Command. I dedicate this achievement to the Comptroller General of Customs, Bashir Adewale Adeni, MFR.
Unadi says the command also intercepted 16 containers of illicit substances, unregistered pharmaceutical products and other items discharged between May 17 and October 23, 2024. He said the drugs valued at 37 billion naira were imported into the country from India, United Kingdom and Canada.
The drugs imported include codeine-based products, numerous shipments of cough syrups with codeine, Bacardine, and codeine bronchial, DSP with codeine for throat and chest cough, 100 mils, 200 mils per carton. We also have tapentadol and carisoprodol, 420 cartons of Royal carisoprodol BP. We have benzahol tablets, cannabis indica.
We are witnessing this mammoth quantity of illicit drugs beautifully taken out of illicit circulation through the combination of effort of sister agencies.
NAFDAC and Nigeria is on ML3, what we call ML3. There is the world's drug regulator. So we are working towards going level 4, which is the final. That once we get that level 4, every pharmaceutical products from Nigeria can go to anywhere in the world.
As the Yuletide season approaches, the Tinkan Customs Board will assure stakeholders that the command will partner with those who are compliant to ensure that there are no delays in their cargo delivery.
Coming up, Lagos International Trade Fair ends with focus on taking advantage of African trade agreement. That's some business news. Please join us again.
The last day of the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry International Trade Fair is marked as the Lagos State Government Day. This is to honor its host city and a government that continues to put its entrepreneurs first with giant infrastructure projects and an enabling environment. As the 2024 edition comes to a close, Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu is excited about what the last 10 days has created for businesses in Lagos, Nigeria, Africa and the world, and says the state government, taking a cue from the Chamber of Commerce and Industry, will hold an international fair in the first quarter of 2025.
Africa needs to trade among themselves. We need to deepen that relationship. Let us open our borders. Let us be able to interrelate because we're closer to one another, right? And whatever it is, we'll now trade with other parts of the world. We've seen at Lekki Deep Sea Port, we're committed to making Lagos, a commercial gateway, not just to Nigeria, but to Africa. Sustainability remains a central part of our growth strategy, and we're making decisive steps towards becoming a cleaner, a greener Lagos, because that is important for us as well. We don't also just want a Lagos that will, I mean, there's some studies that say that by 2060, Lagos can go under. It will not, because not just that we're praying, we're actually also doing the right thing that it doesn't go under.
Has been particularly deliberate in implementing policies that streamline the regulatory framework, reduce bottlenecks, and enhance transparency. So as we approach 2025, our ministry, under the able guidance of Mr. Governor, has set even more ambitious goals to boost commerce, cooperatives, trade, and investments in our state.
For the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry, the 38th edition of the fair enjoyed a tremendous success, particularly due to the support of the Lagos State government and the federal government.
There will always be some areas for improvement. We have taken note of some feedback on the strategy for 2025. We look forward to a bigger, better, and richer 2025 fair. And we expect all of you to be with us on Friday, 7th of November 2025.
After 10 days of connecting businesses and creating value, the Lagos State Chamber Lagos International Trade Fair has ended. The trade fair, which was held at the Tafawa Balewa Square on Lagos Island, had over 1,000 local and international exhibitors. One of such exhibitors is Mr. Terry.
Yeah, good afternoon, sister. How are you doing? Wow, 10 days has been so great. At least for the past 10 days, we have exhibited and we've seen the good value of what we paid for. We are so grateful to the Chamber of Commerce, Lagos Chamber of Commerce, that this year has been so great.
It has been so massive. We least expected what we got, but we thank God. It's as if it shouldn't end, but we have to go. Yeah, it's been nice. This year, we are saying there is no money in Nigeria, but people came this year massively. I guess maybe it's because of the free entry, because in the last few years, people have been paying to enter. So we've had little crowd, but this year it's massive.
And there's people we have been selling because we were here last year. Some customers that patronized us last year, I think they are the ones that make us to sell more.
Lagos State was subsequently awarded for its contribution to business growth in Nigeria. Omolmi Okewu, LTV News. In line with Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu's agenda of supporting business growth, Lagos Television played an active role at the Lagos International Trade Fair. The foremost broadcasting station was on ground for 10 days, providing a platform for about 50 businesses to reach a wider audience.
In health, we have product and entertainment, we have goods from all over Lagos, encouraging the small and business enterprise. And I believe that we being here will help those SMEs to understand and key into the policies of the state government in achieving the greater Lagos.
For many of these businesses, the exposure on Lagos Television had a significant impact, helping them connect to targeted consumers across the state.
LTV is one of the older Nigerian news stations. And we believe in marketing our product to those sorts of people. Eleganza, we are also a old company. So most of our demographic, they do watch LTV. Most of our older audience, they do watch it. And LTV, they're a staple of Nigerian media. When you call media, you have to call LTV.
LTV has helped us to reach a very wide audience. They've helped us to cover our market in every part of Nigeria and even in Africa. Being on LTV has been a success for us. It's really, really been a huge choice for us, because it's helped us to break into the market, and we really appreciate LTV.
With its reach extending to over 2 million residents of Lagos and surrounding areas, Lagos Television remains a valuable platform for showcasing and promoting local and international businesses.
Veteran long-distance runner Joy Abiye emerged third-time winner of the Lagos Women Run as 10,000 participants took part in the 2024 race. The 9th edition of the 10-kilometer race commenced from the Tafawa Balewa Square and finished at the Mobolaji Johnson Sport Arena, Onikom. The Ondo State athletes posted a time of 38 minutes 35 seconds to retain the title ahead of Cameroon's Lelane Ngwesta, who finished with a time of 40 minutes 2 seconds, while Charity Ogofere came third, clocking 40 minutes 9 seconds. Abiye received the top prize of 1.5 million for her effort. Ngwesta received 500,000 naira, while second runner-up Ogofere went home with 300,000 naira.
Yeah, I do want to win more. I'm looking forward to winning all the time because with my training and with the help of government too, they should even keep helping us. And I still want to give God all the glory for the sponsors of Lagos Women Run. I want to say a big thank you to them.
The winners of the veteran category also got cash rewards with other prizes from sponsors. It was fun all the way for the participants from the start point at the Tafawa Balewa Square to the finish line at the Mobolaji Johnson Arena, Onikom.
It's part of our ways to inspire our women and to empower them. Part of this process includes empowerment training, entrepreneurship training, counseling, human capacity development programs, that have been set out for them. So it's actually truly beyond race, and that is what we are promoting.
We're trying to promote healthy living, and as women, it's important that we take care of ourselves. Make sure you try, do something, and before long, you become an expert. And before long, you find out that you're healthy. You're healthier than what you started out.
I'm sure that a lot of those women are going to be asking for more. They probably won't want this to be once in a year. But I can tell you, most of the women are now conscious of their health. They are conscious of the fact that they can have other women support them, and they can have a gathering where their health and fitness, can be a thing of priority, especially to the Lagos State government.
We're one Nigeria, and for us as a Nigerian, we have to build a lot of champions to compete with other parts of the world. And the only platform that you have that could do that is Lagos. Lagos is the one bringing people together so that we can be able to compete and be able to build people for champions to represent our country. The Kenyans are scared of us now. With programs like this, the Ethiopians are scared of us. Other people are scared of us because they know that we have a platform where we can come together and give people a free training towards a bigger champion.
All participants received a certificate of participation and several products from sponsors. Meanwhile, Sabalenka also surpassed $30 million in career prize money, becoming the 10th player in WTA history to hit the figure.
Thank you for staying with us. U.S. President-elect Donald Trump has appointed Tom Homan as border czar ahead of the commencement of his policy of mass deportation of illegal immigrants. Homan says any Democrat who wants to block the deportation plans should get out of the way. The border czar noted that removing undocumented immigrants who have committed crimes will be the early focus of the administration. Trump allies are discussing deportation and detention options, with tackling the U.S.-Mexico border seen as a priority from day one. Immigrants, their employers and groups that work with them are already taking action ahead of the president-elect's second term. Some fear how the new administration could impact their families, while others are hopeful the plans, if they materialize, will make things better. Advocates, however, fear that the deportation plan will soon reach deeper into American communities, targeting people who they say have a right to live there. Let's take a look at tomorrow's weather forecast. Before we end the news tonight, let's take a quick reminder of our top stories. President Bola Tinubu has called for an end to Israeli aggression in Gaza. He made a call while addressing the Arab Islamic Summit in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. World leaders and delegates from over 200 countries are in Azerbaijan for the United Nations Conference on Climate Change to chart innovative solutions to global climate challenges. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has sworn in Olufunke Hassan as the new chairman of Onigbongo Local Council Development Area. On the foreign scene, we told you that U.S. President-elect Donald Trump has appointed Tom Homan as border czar ahead of the deportation plan of illegal migrants. For more news, please connect with Lagos Television on these social media platforms. An accident. It is always the result of a commitment to excellence, intelligence, planning, and focused reports. Please remember to call Lagos toll-free lines 767 or 112 in case of emergencies. Thank you for joining us on the news at 8 on Lagos Television. We wish you a pleasant night.
It is all about decisive and incisive news report on policy matters, in-depth analysis on topical issues, comprehensive discourse on what is critically at stake, detailing the trends and the issues as they are, understanding shared values, information, opinions, views and thought-provoking policies on democratic governance. The